The licensing process for psychology currently involves the administration of the EPPP. But as I'm sure you've heard, the field of psychology has been moving towards a competency-based assessment in the licensing process since 2002. And by now I'm sure you've heard about a new test being developed and introduced in 2020. This discussion and planning has focused around bringing psychology's licensure requirements in line with that of other professions, to include the assessment of both a base knowledge exam and an applied competencies exam. The ASPPB is creating the EPPP2 in order to objectively evaluate a student's competency skills. That is their ability to demonstrate that they know how to think about, integrate, and apply the knowledge they've learned for and demonstrated on the EPPP1 to the new EPPP2. Dependent upon your state or jurisdiction, this new EPPP2 will likely apply only to those students who have not passed their EPPP1 by December 31st, 2019. The EPPP2 is a skills-based or competency-based exam to complement the EPPP1, which is a knowledge-based exam. Competence refers to the integrated use of knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values practiced by psychologists. In other words, EPPP2 will be asking the student to show how they think about the case, conceptualize the various aspects of the case, identify any relevant steps to take, and to then demonstrate, by selecting the correct answer, how they would apply their knowledge. As the EPPP2 is entering into the licensure process, Triad wants to give you some information that is relevant to your work with your students in assisting them to develop an awareness of this new exam, as well as to assist you as a graduate program with knowing some of the changes that will impact your program. According to the ASPPB, once the EPPP2 is available, it may be conceivable to begin offering the EPPP1 as soon as possible after the completion of a student's coursework, and ideally before their internship. This would mean that the EPPP1 could be given immediately following coursework, when knowledge is fresher and more easily recalled. It may be also possible to allow students to use their student loan money to pay for the EPPP1. Placing the exam substantially closer to when the coursework has been completed would also put our licensure process in line with the United States Medical Licensing Examination. In addition, we know that length of time from graduation to testing is positively associated with higher fail rates. That decay theory, well, it is real, so moving the EPPP1 before internship could significantly increase the first-time pass rates. The EPPP2 then would be offered at the completion of a student's internship. Given the likely new timing of being able to take the EPPP1, that is right after the completion of a student's coursework, you will likely want to consider the opportunity to build into your curriculum an EPPP1 preparation course, which will allow your students to develop a readiness for this exam. You'll also want to keep tabs on what your state and jurisdiction is doing in terms of changes to its licensing process, and how these changes may impact the timing of administering each of these exams. We would be happy to consult with you further about the upcoming changes and their impact on your students and your program. Understandably, there is a lot of anxiety about the EPPP2. We want to assure you that you need not worry. As always, Triad will be in the forefront in providing your program with information and innovative materials. Over the past 40 years, we've evidenced a proven track record utilizing cutting-edge tools and learning approaches to help our member institutions successfully equip their students for their licensing exams. We currently have 30 subject matter experts addressing the EPPP2's competency domains and creating materials that are going to be helpful to them. We will be updating you and providing you with additional information about the EPPP2 in the upcoming months. As always, Triad's products and services will provide you and your program with the information that you'll need, when you need it, and how you'll need it, in order to assist your program and to help your students achieve their professional licensing goals and begin their next season of their career as professional psychologists.